Hi guys, Goga1 back. Like I said, I'm doing quite a few videos at the moment. This is to complement my Hulkbuster figure up here that I have repainted. It's just a kid's toy that I've managed to repaint and touch up. Go on sideshowfreaks.com and look for Iron Man's post. Iron Man spelt with two N's at the end. He's the guy that started this all off. You can do repaints of all these Age of Ultron kids toy figures and actually make them something more. This one is a Disney Store exclusive Hulk. He was a very, very dark green, quite hideous looking. It was a really, really cheap paint sculpt, and I've managed to do some modifications on it myself and try and make it into something a little bit more than just a cheap kids toy. I've initially, there was all these ball joints. There was a joint in the feet and the knees. I filled them in with milliput, sanded it all down and given him a bit more of a strict. You can still see the hole there, just in the ankle there where the actual joint was. But I filled that in. I've given there was such a joint there that I've used milliput to add some extra bits of the shorts on here. This is all bits I've added on at the end here to try and make it look like the shorts go all the way around, which they didn't do before. I've still kept the joint in the shorts here, so there's a bit of leg movement. Once I did that, I came up to the arms and I did the same here. I put the joint, I put the milliput into the joint on the elbow to restrict that and try and hide some of the joints. The wrist as well was separated, which is really weird because the rubberized hands, but this is all hard plastic, but the rubberized hands were stuck on afterwards, and there was a great big joint there. So what I did was I filled that in so it wasn't so obvious. I've then done a respray, did a primer coat on the whole thing. After I cleaned it, obviously, do wash it with soap and water gently. I've done a reprimer on it, and then I've just gone to town working on some of the finer details. I've come in here closer to it, and as you can see in the arm here, I've done different layers of green paint, and also I've added in some red and blue veins to the actual thing to make it look a bit more organic, and small flecks of green, just so it's a little bit more uneven. There's a bit more of a paint work on him. And I've hidden the talking button. There was a talking button where he screams Hulk smash and things like that. It wasn't very good. The sound wasn't great, and the actual phrases were rubbish, to be honest. So I just covered up the button with milliput and covered it away. There was also speaker holes in his abdomen, and I've covered them in with milliput as well. And that is him. This is all the shading I've done around here, around the arm, the back, the details. Slowly but surely put all this work in, and it did come out quite nicely, I think, anyway. It's up to you what you think. But once you turn him round, I noticed that with the trousers, they're a little bit wishy-washy in their colour, and I know that, I'm fully aware of that. But I'm quite happy with that. It make them look a bit more organic, a bit more like there's an unevenness, like certain parts have worn away and things like that, and I quite like that. So I haven't gone back to repaint it. I've painted his toenails because, you know, Hulk needs some nice toenails. There's details and shading, and the veins in the feet and stuff like that have been highlighted to try and bring it back up. If you go into the Disney Store, it's a Disney Store exclusive, and you'll notice that these things are on there, and they are terrible, terrible paint jobs. I mean, they're meant for kids, they're not meant for anything else, but, you know, you buy yourself one of these, you can actually put some work in yourself and give yourself quite a nice little figure. Repainted the eyes in. He's not perfect, he's a little bit boss-eyed, but they're green now instead of the blue I think he were before, or I think they were just brown, like a horrible muddy brown. They weren't very well done. He's got some a subtle little bit of veinage in the eyeball there. Try and zoom in so that he can show up. Again, if I zoom in too close, you know, you will see all the flaws, but when he's standing back, you can actually see that it's quite a nice paint job. I think anyway. I'm proud of it, but you know, I'm not a professional painter. I'm not anything. I'm just a guy with a few cheap paintbrushes and some acrylic in a pot, and this is what I've managed to do. My airbrush machine is just some cheap rubbish thing I bought off eBay for, I don't know, 20 odd pounds. Wasn't expensive, but I would recommend trying to do a repaint of some of these. Sometimes, you know, if you haven't got the money for a Hot Toys, £20 worth of paint, or 10 to £20 worth of paint, and maybe £30 on a figure, and you can have yourself something nice if you just take the time to do it. Save you a lot of money. But yeah, that is my Hulk. He is complementary to the Hulkbuster that I've painted, and that is all for the moment. Once I get some more stuff, I will upload it as soon as I can. Thanks a lot, guys.